Brick by brick, this mansion was built to keep the living out and the dead in. Within its walls, secrets breathe and shadows speak. Welcome to Haunted Mansion Stories. Every mansion has secrets. This one whispers them in the dark. Listen to the secrets only if you dare.
Lily had always been curious about her grandmother's attic. Dusty boxes, forgotten furniture, and relics of another time filled the cramped, cobwebbed space. But one stormy evening, her eyes settled on something that didn't belong: a phone. It wasn't modern, nor quite antique. A cracked screen, coated in grime, rested in the corner of a trunk. Something about it made her uneasy, yet she couldn't look away. When lightning split the sky outside, she felt a strange urge and pressed the power button. The device buzzed to life. Her breath caught. It shouldn't work: no charger, no network, no SIM card. Still, the glow spread across the display, revealing a voicemail inbox. 12 unheard messages. The hairs on the back of her neck rose. Heart thudding, Lily tapped play. A soft, broken voice hissed through static. "Lily, can you hear me? I need your help." Her blood froze. The voice knew her name. "I am trapped in a place you cannot see." I cry out, but no one listens. Lily's hand trembled. She wanted to laugh, call it a prank, but the voice had a rawness that dug into her bones. She played the second message. "Lily, please. I am lost in the woods, near the old pond. The shadows are closing in. Find the lantern. Bring it before it's too late." The storm raged harder outside, rattling the house. She told herself she was imagining the tug inside her chest, the invisible pull toward the woods. But when she glanced back at the dusty lantern she'd found earlier in the attic, her decision was made. She grabbed it and a flashlight, then stepped out into the storm. The woods were darker than she had ever known them to be. Branches clawed at her jacket, the ground sucked at her boots, and the wind carried whispers that rose and fell with each flicker of lightning. Every so often, she thought she heard faint sobbing. "Hurry." The word slithered through her ears, not from the phone, not from her memory. From the woods themselves. She pressed on, driven by fear and curiosity, until the trees opened to reveal the pond. The water was black, rippling with moonlight and rain. The air carried the stench of rot, and with each breath, Lily swore she inhaled the faint copper tang of blood. Then, movement. From behind a twisted tree, a figure emerged. A girl, pale and thin, her dress in tatters. Her face shimmered between solid and translucent, her eyes wide and pleading. "Lily, you found me. Light the lantern, quick." Her voice was the same as the messages. Lily fumbled with the lantern, striking the lighter. As the flame caught, a warm glow spread across the clearing. The girl sighed in relief, but Lily froze. The shadows around the pond didn't retreat. They thickened. They moved. From the surface of the pond, shapes began to rise: long arms, twisted faces, dripping with mud. Dozens of them. They moaned in unison, a sound that rattled her teeth. The girl grabbed Lily's wrist. Her skin was ice cold. "Don't let it go out. They'll take you too." Lily's eyes widened. "What are they?" The girl's lips curled into something between a smile and a grimace. "They are the others who tried to save me." Before Lily could react, one of the shadow figures lurched forward. Its jaw opened impossibly wide, a void of teeth and darkness. Lily screamed, clutching the lantern tighter as the light sputtered. The girl's grip tightened painfully. "Keep it burning, Lily. Keep it burning, or you'll never leave." When the storm ended, the woods were silent. The pond rippled under a calm moon. The phone in Lily's attic buzzed once more, its screen glowing in the dark. One new voicemail. The message played automatically. Her own voice whispered through the static. Help me. Please. I'm lost in the woods, near the old pond. Bring the lantern before it's too late. The whisper slithered across the back of Lily's neck, wet and cold. She spun around, lantern clutched in her hands. The room was empty, but the shadows on the walls seemed too thick, too long, stretching toward her feet. Her flashlight lay on the dresser. She flicked it on, the shadows shrank back, writhing like worms in the sudden brightness. But the beam wavered, sputtering as if something unseen drained the batteries. The phone buzzed again in her palm. New voicemail, 5. Her hands shook as she hit play. A child's voice whispered, high and broken. Don't look at the mirrors, they're watching from the other side. The message cut out, and instantly, crack. Lily's bathroom mirror split straight down the center. Her chest heaved. She ran, slamming the door shut, but she could still hear faint giggles echoing inside, as if the glass itself was laughing. She staggered back into her bedroom. The lantern on her dresser flared to life without her touching it, its glow pulsing like a heartbeat. For a moment, the warmth soothed her until she noticed what the light revealed. The footprints. Wet, black footprints trailed across her carpet, starting at the attic door and circling her bed. They weren't hers. The phone buzzed. New voicemail, 6. Static roared, then her grandmother's voice rasped. Lily. I told you never to go in that attic. The phone doesn't ring for the living. Once it knows your name, it never lets go. Her blood ran cold. The line went dead, but the voicemail replayed itself on a loop, her grandmother's voice, over and over, each repetition warping, twisting, until it no longer sounded human. Never lets go, never lets go, never lets. The lantern flickered. The shadows grew. This time, they didn't just crawl across the walls. They rose. Figures, wet and shivering, their mouths wide open as if screaming silently. Their eyes were hollow pools of black water. They circled her bed, hands reaching, dripping onto the floorboards. The phone buzzed violently. New voicemail, 7. It auto-played. Her own voice, gasping. Light the lantern, Lily, or you'll never wake up again. Her thumb hovered over the wick. If she lit it, she might survive, but the man's warning echoed in her head. The lantern doesn't protect you. It binds you. Behind her, the shadows crept closer. And Lily realized she had only 2 choices. Light the lantern and keep herself alive for now. Or blow it out and face whatever the dark was waiting to do to her. Lily lit the lantern. The shadows recoiled instantly, hissing like steam as they slithered back into the walls. The glow spread through her room, warm but unnatural. It didn't feel like firelight. It felt alive. The figures vanished. The silence that followed was worse. Her phone buzzed again, vibrating so hard it nearly slid from her hand. New voicemail, 8. The message began with labored breathing, then a whisper. Go back to the pond, you'll see the truth carved into the trees. But don't look too long, Lily. Don't let them see you looking. The call ended with a snap, like a bone breaking. Lily stared at the lantern, its light swaying. She didn't want to return, but the words stuck in her head. Truth. Trees. Carved. The pull was there again, the same pull that had dragged her outside the first night. She knew she couldn't ignore it. The woods were quieter this time, but not peaceful. The silence was heavy, as though the forest itself was holding its breath. Every time she raised the lantern, she thought she saw figures darting behind the trees, vanishing when the glow passed over them. When she reached the pond, the air smelled of stagnant water and iron. She held the lantern high and gasped. The trees surrounding the pond were scarred with carvings. Dozens, no, hundreds of names. Some fresh, some nearly worn away by time. She traced the letters with her finger, Amelia Cross. Daniel Hayes. Rebecca Shaw. Names she had heard whispered in local stories, the missing children no one ever found. Her throat tightened when she saw one etched deeper than the others. Margaret Holloway. Her grandmother. The phone buzzed in her pocket. She pulled it out with trembling hands. New voicemail, 9. Her grandmother's voice, weak, trembling. I was the last one to hold the lantern before you. I left it in the attic. I thought if I hid the phone, no one else would answer. But it always finds someone. Always. That's how it lives. Through us. The message warped, the voice shifting, growing sharper, darker. You'll take my place now, Lily. The pond has been waiting. The lantern flickered violently. The water rippled though there was no wind. A pale shape rose from the center of the pond. The girl. But her body was bloated now, her hair dripping with mud and weeds, her face contorted into something no longer human. You lit it, she gurgled, her mouth stretching impossibly wide. That means you're bound. Unless you feed the pond. Dozens of hands burst from the water, clawing at the air, reaching for her. The phone buzzed one last time. New voicemail, 10. Her own voice whispered. You can pass it on, Lily. Find another. Or the pond will take you. The lantern flared and she realized the flame wasn't just light. It was hungry. The lantern's glow flared so bright it stung Lily's eyes. She staggered back, shielding her face. When her vision cleared, the girl was gone, but the pond boiled, bubbles rising as if something massive lurked just beneath the surface. Her phone buzzed again. New voicemail, 11. This one was nearly unlistenable, warped with static, but a voice clawed through. The lantern doesn't free them. It feeds them. Every flame you light, every shadow you drive away, the pond grows stronger. That's why it calls you. That's why it never lets go. The words sank into her bones. The lantern trembled in her hands, its glow pulsing like a heartbeat. For the first time, Lily noticed something within the glass, not a wick, but a coil of black ash that writhed like a worm. Each time the flame flickered, it fed on it, devouring more. She wanted to drop it, but her fingers wouldn't obey. The handle burned cold against her palm, as if the lantern itself demanded to be held. Another voicemail buzzed through. New voicemail, 12. The girl's voice, but hollow now. You're mine, Lily. Just as I was someone's before you. The lantern needs a keeper. It won't burn without one. Keep it alive, or the pond will claim you. The lantern's glow stretched across the pond, illuminating the names on the trees. For the first time, Lily saw that under every name was a second carving, not just a name, but a date. The exact day each person disappeared. Her stomach dropped when she noticed an empty space beneath her grandmother's name, a bare scar waiting for a date. And beneath it, fresh bark slashed with a knife's edge. Lily Holloway. No date yet. Not until she failed. The phone buzzed again, more violently than ever, the screen flashing like a heartbeat. New voicemail, 13. Her grandmother's voice, low and broken. I kept it alive for years. I couldn't blow it out. If you do, it'll come for you. If you don't, you'll pass it to the next. There's no escape, Lily. Only choice. Keeper, or offering. The pond rippled violently. Something rose. Not the girl this time, but something older. Taller than any man, its body a shifting column of mud and bone, its face a hollow cavity of black water. It didn't crawl from the pond. It stood on the water as if the surface held it. Every whisper from the woods hushed. The forest bowed in silence. The lantern flared hungrily in her grip. The thing opened its mouth. And though it had no tongue, no lips, the words poured into her head like poison. Feed me. or take her place. The flame hissed. Lily realized it wasn't just hungry. It was waiting for her to choose. The figure of mud and bone towered over the pond, its hollow mouth gaping. Its words crawled inside Lily's skull. Feed me. Or take her place. The lantern shook violently in her hands, the flame burning brighter than ever. But the brighter it burned, the more the shadows stirred at the edge of the woods, hungry and restless. Her phone buzzed, screen glowing blood red. New voicemail, 14. She pressed play with trembling fingers. It was her own voice. You can end it, Lily. Blow it out. Let it take you. Or pass it on. Leave the phone behind. Make someone else answer. Just choose. Her throat tightened. The truth clawed at her. That was why the phone had been in her grandmother's attic. That was why it found her. Each keeper left it for the next. The curse was a chain, and she was now a link. The water at her feet rippled, black hands reaching from the surface, clutching at her ankles. The shadows whispered promises, voices layering over one another. Keep the flame, stay alive. Blow it out, be free. Feed us. Join us. Her chest heaved. She thought of her grandmother's trembling voice. Of the missing names carved into the trees. Of the girl by the pond, no longer human. She had two choices. If she kept the lantern lit, she would survive, but she would be the next warden, trapped in the endless cycle, passing the phone to some other unsuspecting soul. If she blew it out, the flame would die, and the pond would claim her. But maybe, just maybe, the chain would end. Her fingers tightened around the lantern's handle. She lifted it to her lips, heart pounding, breath trembling. Lily did not blow. She let the flame burn. The shadowy hands recoiled, the pond stilled. The towering figure bowed its head, satisfied. The phone buzzed one last time before fading to black. New keeper registered. Years later, in another house, in another attic, a child would find the dusty old phone. The lantern's flame hissed, sputtered, then died. Darkness swallowed the clearing. The water erupted. The hands dragged her down, choking her screams, pulling her into the black. The last thing she heard was her grandmother's voice whispering, "I'm sorry." The pond rippled once, then fell still. The lantern lay on the bank, cold and empty. Back in the attic, the phone glowed faintly. A new voicemail waited. Lily's voice. "Help me, please. They're pulling me under." The cycle continued. In the end, whether she chose to keep the flame or let it die, the pond always won. The old phone always found another.
Leave now, but beware. The mansion remembers those who enter, and it will call you back. You've walked the halls, heard the voices, and felt the chill. The story ends for now, but don't forget to like and subscribe because the mansion waits. Always.